Hey there everyone, how's it going? Tharun here, back again with another cool tutorial on ES6 looping statements. So what are these looping statements? If you want to do a certain task or run a certain code for like a certain number of times or like indefinite number of times, you use looping statements. So already, as I gave a clue, you have two different types of looping statements. The first one is definite looping and the second type is indefinite looping. When I talk about definite looping, as the name says, you have like a predefined number of iterations that the loop must run at. Okay, when talking about indefinite looping, the code will run for like say until the condition is true. Okay, if it is true, it's gonna run, and if it is false, then it's gonna stop. So that is indefinite looping. So let's talk about definite looping. So the first variant in definite looping is a for loop. That is a simple for. Okay, when we talk about a simple for, say like you want to calculate a factorial of a number. Now what is a factorial of a number? It is like example, take 5. Okay, what is 5 factorial? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. What is 7 factorial? 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, so on. So for okay, for that, before that, let's just find the factorial of x equals to 5. So how do you find? For let I equals to num, that is we are initializing a variable I to num, it's not num, it's x. Okay, the x, this variable here, and x greater than equals to 1. That is, every time we run the loop, we're going to check if x is greater than equal to 1. If it is greater than equal to 1, then run the loop. And x minus minus, okay, where we mean to say decrement x by 1 at every step. Okay, you could use x minus minus or x equal to x minus 1. So run this loop. Here we would say first let's just console.log it, and I'll show you what the value of it's not x, it's I, right? Yes, so I equal to x, I greater than equal to 1, I minus minus. So you have to deal with this variable, not x, and also we'll be printing I. So let's run this. So it's going to be node js9. Okay, we get 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, you get it? We are initializing I with this value, then run this until it's greater than equal to 1 and decrement it by 1 at each step. Again, you could like decrement it by 2 at each step, like I equal to I minus 1, I minus 1, okay, so on. So as of now it's I minus minus. So since we have that, what we want to do is we want to have var factorial equals to 1. Okay, we've initialized that, and let's say factorial star equals to I, which means factorial equals to factorial into I. Then once we're out, we'll console.log factorial. So we get 120. That is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, right? 3 2s are 6 and 6 4s are 24, and 24 into 5, 120, right? So that is this. Like for example, if you have like 3, okay, and if I run that now, you're gonna get 6. So that is how this thing works. So this is a simple for loop. Now when you talk about a for in loop, now how does for in loop work? Say you have an object, so var or object equals to say you have let's say name Shiv, okay, age 20. Okay, now if you want to like iterate over the keys of this object, then you would be doing for, okay, for x in object for let x So we have this object. So if you want to like iterate over the keys of this object, then you would be doing for, okay, let, or again var, you could use anything, prop, that is property in object, okay, console.log the prop, which means it console.logs the property, which is nothing but name and age. Now if you want to fetch those values, then obviously you would say object of prop, and once I run that, I get Shiv and 20. So that is for in, right? You get, I hope you get it. For let prop in object, okay, the property in object, then do that. That is, we are fetching object of name, object of age, so on. The third variant is for off, okay. This is used for, say, arrays, okay, for arrays. Say for let, okay, let item of, okay, you say you have 10, 12, 14 or anything, then console.log item. When I run that, I get 10, 12, 14. So that is the three variants of definite looping: for loop, for in, and for off looping. Now when you talk about indefinite loopings, okay, you have two variants there. You have while loop and do while loop. When you talk about while loop, they actually first, before entering the loop itself, they check for the condition. If it is true, then they're going to execute it. So if we do the same for the factorial program, say you have var, okay, y equals to say 7, okay, factorial equals to 1, while y greater than equals to 1, run this loop where we are going to do factorial star equals to y, that is factorial equals to factorial into y. So factorial star equals to y, okay, so that is there. So once we have calculated the factorial multiplication, then what we want to do is we want to decrement y, okay. So then we would console.log the factorial. So 5040, to check that, 120. So that is correct, right? So run this loop until y is greater than or equal to 1. So it's going to multiply, it's going to decrement at every say iteration, and it's going to do that. Now if we talk about the second variant, which is a do while loop under the indefinite loopings, okay, this is a while loop and do while loop. Do while loop will execute the code at least for once, okay, while y is greater than or equals to 1, okay. If I have this one over here, let me initialize factorial equals to 1 and var y equals to 5, okay. Since it is a var, I can redeclare it, redefine it also. Let's run this. Before that, let's console.log factorial. So we get that. You get it, right? In do while loop, this is executed irrespective of any of the condition. Then it's going to check here for the condition. Then it would decide whether to execute this or not for the second time. But for the first time, irrespective of any condition, it is going to execute. So these are the definite and indefinite looping statements. One small other information which I want to give is about the loop control statements. So if you want to like break the loop in middle on certain condition, then you would use break statement. For example, say here in the for loop, okay, we are like calculating the factorial, right? So if you want to break the loop on say if I equals to 2, okay, then break. If I do this and say, okay, let's give 3 itself, and we'll comment all of this code. Now let me run this. I'm going to get 3 because it comes for the first time, it multiplies the factorial equal to 3. Okay, then once I equals to 2, then it breaks and comes out. Okay, it doesn't multiply with 2, and this is one thing. Okay, now the second stuff is say 4. Okay, so without the break, let's see, without the break, now if I execute, wait, let me remove this. And by the way, here it is if I equal to 2. Okay, it's not single equal to, by the way. If you had observed it, great. So here, as of now, the 4 factorial we're getting it as 24. That is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Now say for example, if I double equals to 2, okay, if we want to, for I equals to 3, if we want to like continue further, that is we do not want to multiply it with 3, but we want the loop to continue and not break, then we use continue. Now if I run this, I guess I didn't save it, so I equal to 3, continue. Okay, we already multiplied it, so it's of no use here. Let me put it here. Now you see we just get 8. The reason is first I equals to 4. Okay, it comes inside, it is not equal to 3, so it comes here, and 4 into 1, right, it is 4. Then it's decremented, it becomes 3, then it sees the continue, so it doesn't execute further statement. It comes here, it comes here. Okay, it doesn't do that factorial multiplication. Then it becomes 2, then 4 2s are 8, then it becomes 1, then 8 1s are 8, so it prints that. You get the, so I hope you get the difference between break and continue. So this is all I wanted to tell about the decision making and looping statements, which were covered in the previous and this video. So if you have any kind of doubts regarding these ones, please let me know, and I'm really happy to solve. Otherwise, see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.